I'd like to personally thank Audible for making this show possible today. They're the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles to choose from. And you get one free just by going to audible.com/iced. That's right. You get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial just by going to audible.com/ICET just for listening to this show. Real readers get their audiobooks from Audible.
I handle it a certain way. Anybody who really ever been in it can't speak on it like it's nothing.
Welcome to the Ice-T Final Level Podcast, featuring your co-host, Mick Benzo, and your host,
Ice-T.
Hey, yo, what's up, world? This is Ice-T. Right now, you're listening to the very first Final Level Podcast. So, I got my man here with me, my co-conspirator, Mick Benzo.
Oh, yeah, Mick Benzo's here with the bird.
Y'all might listen to Mick Benzo on Sirius Radio doing the Zulu beats. He been holding me down since back in the day. I'm doing it right now, and, this is a good outlet for me to talk. Everybody knows I'm on Twitter, at Final Level. You on Twitter too, right, Mick?
Yeah, at Mick Benzo.
Yeah, so I'm on there, but Twitter's, how many letters do you get to use on Twitter?
About 150, I think.
I can't say what I got to say in 150. That's just me getting warmed up. So I said that, this is a chance for people to get to me. We have in the show, we're gonna have a section where people can call in and talk to us about whatever's on their mind, man. And get the ice opinion about certain things. So
But a lot of people do see you on Law and Order, though.
Yeah, they see me on Law and Order, but see, Law and Order is like me acting out of character.
Okay.
When you do acting, you walking in and somebody's telling you what to say, where to stand, what to wear. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people actually walk up to me and go, wow, you wrote Cop Killer and you're a cop now. I'm like, no, I'm an actor, you dumb fuck. I'm not a cop. I can't arrest any fucking body. Are you fucking idiot? What the fuck's the matter with you, I mean, people get it twisted, and even now playing a cop, it's not like I don't get arrested and they don't sweat me.
Oh, they do.
They do. They some of them are mad because they're like, yo, ICE is, he didn't like us and now he's acting like him. Well, you know what I say to that is kiss my ass. I'm just acting. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm not doing anything. I'm not breaking laws anymore.
This is why podcasts is so important. They can hear other things that they did not know about you and listen to when you do it without a person just interviewing us. And you're listening to the Final Level Podcast, really, though.
But where did I come up with the name Final Level? I'm a video gamer, and I feel and when you play games, you're always trying to get to the final level. But I feel in life, we're all trying to reach other levels. Mm-hmm. So Final Level is just a way of saying trying to make it to where you're going. Now, someone asked me, what is the final level? And I said the final level to me is inner peace. But that's too deep. Okay. Now you think I'm a Buddhist and you don't think gangbangers know shit like that.
Oh, shit.
But that's different shit. Mm-hmm. So we'll go into that in the philosophy segment.
Why don't we hold that? Because this is only the first episode. They just need to know that there will be a podcast by Ice-T.
Yeah, we're in the building.
Yeah.
Final Level is touched down in the podcast world. So you know what I'm saying? Get ready, put on a motherfucking helmet, get your vests on, get all your shit together. You might want to store some food. You might want to prep. Mm-hmm. From what I understand, I'm one of the first rapper to do a podcast. And I like being first, Mick.
I think that's the most important thing about doing anything. You should be first so they can follow what we're doing.
Yeah, you always want to be first. You don't want to be sloppy seconds.
No.
That's nasty. Jesus, this is it. We've reached the plateau, the epiphany of world. Right now, I'm having an epiphany. I'm realizing that this was where I was supposed to be all along. So how you feel?
Hey, this is a great
thing. You feel
good? Yeah, I feel good about this one. You know why?
Why?
They can hear us. They ain't got to see me. We're going to be talking about some cars because I think Ice got a few cars.
I like cars.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I like cars. That when I was in high school, that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I went to high school, People like, oh, what did you do in high school? I was on the gymnastics team. People like, I play football, but I also went a gymnastics team. Now, people like gymnastics. Immediately, when you tell people gymnastics, they say, these guys are soft. I'm like, a motherfucker do an iron cross. Let me catch you hanging off some rings, motherfucker. You got to be strong as fuck to do fucking gymnastics. Watch them in the Olympics. All you little pussy motherfuckers out there trying to diss gymnasts. Just gymnasts will break your motherfucking neck. Understand? Get on a pommel horse, fat boy.
Wow.
You'll find out how easy that shit is to do. So,
damn, I think that touched the subject. That kind of pissed you off a
oh,
little
no,
bit.
because I always say gymnasts, and they raise their eyes and stuff like that. But I'm like, yo, it's basically acrobatics. You like Jackie Chan. You watch your kung fu movies. The motherfuckers is gymnasts, Jack. So I did that. And then also I was in the cars. I had, at the end of my high school, I had 4 periods of auto body. So I can paint cars. I ended up going to Trade Technical College, where I learned auto body and fender, you know, because I always wanted to customize cars. And after that, I ended up changing my career. That's when I went into the military. So stay tuned. And, you know, we're going to start going into different segments and stuff. We're going to, every podcast, we're going to talk about different things. You know, like I said, we talk about games. We're going to talk about music. We could talk about Law and Order SVU. We could talk about relationship. We could talk about philosophy. I could teach you how to make a hell of a sausage and egg sandwich on white toast.
Oh, shit, see? That's food. That's food. That's food.
Squarespace is our sponsor for today. They're the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. I actually use Squarespace to make the Final Level podcast website, and you should too. Start with a free trial at squarespace.com with no credit card required. When you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code ICE. That's SQUARESPACE.com, offer code ICE. This is News with Ice-T. I don't know exactly when you guys are going to hear this podcast, but the most recent news in my life is the death of Nelson Mandela. You know, I wrote a song about him called Prepared to Die on the original Gangsta album, and it's just a heavy moment. And I think we just definitely show some respect.
Well, we did that too as the Zulu Nation. We did that apartheid song for him. Africa Bambaataa and Brand Nubians and UTFO and X-Clans. That's when he was locked up. It was going on 27 years that he was in jail in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then he came home, became
the president. And I told people, you know, on my Twitter at Final Level, I said, no matter how gangster you think you are or you think somebody is, they'll never be in Mandela's league. To stand up against the government, not the cops, and then to be incarcerated for 27 years, come out standing on your feet. Never bring anybody down with you. Never tell. Never getting into any of that corny shit. Having the people behind you and helping them rise from apartheid. That's something nobody is even capable of doing in their lifetime. I don't see it happening ever again. Back when I spoke on it, I said he should have got a Nobel Prize. He did come out and get that Nobel Prize. And I'm just happy to be alive to have seen somebody of this caliber. And he's inspirational to me, and I know millions and millions of people around the world. You know, we always say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's what's going on in the press. Now, as far as news, I'm not into gossip. I'm not into none of that shit. I'm not into who's fucking who's over here.
that's corny.
That's corny. That's whack. We went from an age where guys would be sitting back talking about making money to now your boyfriend is like, oh my God, did you see what Kim Kardashian had on? You know, bitch ass nigga, don't worry about what Kim Kardashian had on. You know, what are you, the fashion police, motherfucker?
right. And it
You know
ain't
what
your
I'm saying?
girl anyway.
Ain't your girl. Yeah, we from the hood. This is one. Let me give you a hood motto. Not your bitch, not your concern. Okay? Try that one.
Now that's news.
Not your bitch, it's not your concern.
And that's
okay?
news.
Straight up. So our news is we gonna talk about topics, real topics, and when we open up the phones, if there's something serious, we'll talk about it. But don't call up the Final Level podcast talking about gossip or who said or he said or she said. I could give a fuck. And if you got a friend, if you're a man and you got a friend, and as soon as he starts opening his mouth with some gossip, say you sound like a bitch.
That's
you
news.
really sound like a bitch.
That's news.
The fuck do I care about him and all that shit? Go get some money, nigga.
See, that's real news.
Okay, so if you go on Final Level at Twitter, at Final Level, you'll see that I call myself a street philosopher. And I give out what I call the daily game. You know, one of my favorite quotes I got from one of my player buddies, white folks. He says, if it seems like you're going in circles, it's probably because you're cutting corners. And my main philosophy is just be yourself. If I know you're real, and I mean not your impersonation of real, but you're honest, then I dig you. I tell you a story. Back when I was living in L.A., I used to have all kind of people come over my house. So one day I got all these gangbangers over the house, all my homies from Crips, you know, East Coast Crips was in there. And then some of my homeboys from Newport Beach, some surfers came with Lofty, you know, Jay Lofty.
Yeah.
So we got the connection with the surfer kids because we were actually some of the first people to bridge hip hop and skating and stuff back in the day. So now I got a house full of real white boys and real gangbangers. I'm like, well, how is this going to work out? Dig it. The surfers stayed surfers. They didn't try to act like they were gangbangers.
Wasn't tough guys.
The black guys just kept it how they was. Mm-hmm. The gangbangers figured out the white boys had the best weed.
Right, so we stayed
30 minutes later, they all partying. They're all partying. They talking about surfing. My surfer buddies is talking about taking some of the Crips surfing. They figured out what they like to do. And the thing of it is that that's what you is. You a white kid from Newport Beach.
Don't be a tough guy.
I'm a black guy from the hood. We all cool. Let's not act like anything you're not, and you'll always be respected. This is when you're going to get disrespected. When someone can catch you out of pocket trying to be somebody you're not. No one respects that. So if you that square kid, but you trying to act tough, you're going to get robbed.
Yeah.
You're going to get robbed. If you that so-called tough kid, but you really a bitch, you're going to get robbed.
Yeah.
So just be yourself. You know, people say nerds. Listen, let me tell you something. Squares will run the world. The geeks will run the world. I got a definition. You know what the definition is?
What would that be?
Definition between a nerd and a geek. Nerds talk about it. Geeks can do it.
The moral of the story is be yourself.
Be yourself.
Don't act like you're someone you're not.
Basic philosophy. And if you're going to take advice, take it from someone you admire. Okay? Admiration being the key word. You not somebody you like, someone who you really admire. If you ain't got no, if your boy ain't got no girlfriend, don't take his fucking relationship advice, okay? About how you should treat your wife. If you a girl and your homegirl ain't married, don't let her meddle in your marriage. Mm-hmm. If you want to take advice, take it from your girl that's been married 10, 15 years happily. She'll give you some advice. And guess what she's going to tell you? You know what to do. Follow your heart. You'll make the correct decision. She ain't even going to get in your shit. She's going to be so concerned with keeping her stuff together. That's why you never see any of these shows. You never see happy housewives shows. The happy housewives, you always see when you see the housewives shows, they're all miserable.
I don't watch that shit.
Because the happy housewives ain't doing no interviews. They're happy. They got the money. They're cool. They ain't giving away no secrets. They're sucking dick.
So the moral of the story, this is, just mind your fucking business.
Just mind your business. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. This segment we got to do right now, this is on movies. Anybody seen a good movie lately? What's the last movie you seen, Mick?
Shit, probably Freddy Krueger or something, bro. I ain't been in a movie since Kung Fu Fighting.
My favorite movie recently I saw was The Counselor with Brad Pitt. That shit was dope.
Yeah, I read the book on that one.
You ain't read no motherfucking book.
I read the book.
I hate motherfuckers. Let's start this. Let's start this right now. Let me get to the bottom of this. This is something I was talking about on Twitter the other day. How come whenever you say you see a movie, somebody tells you you got to read the book? I mean, motherfucker, I don't want to read the book. That's why I went to see the movie. Who the fuck? I mean, you know, if I wanted to read the book, I'll read the book. Okay, like I read The Godfather, I saw the movie. You know, so what? I mean, why the fuck you got to tell me? You got to see. Yo, have you seen Hunger Games? Well, read the book. Fuck you. Try that. I'm not gone. Fuck Hunger Games. Fuck the book. Fuck the whole shit. I saw Battle Royale, the Japanese version, the OG shit. Okay, that's what I saw. Not the fucking Hunger Games. And if they can hunt so good, right? Why don't they just hunt food?
Oh shit.
What the fuck's the matter with these people? So I was just like, yo, I ain't going to see the Hunger Games because everybody's telling me to go see the fucking Hunger Games. Fuck that. I saw the first one. I understand the concept, okay? I don't care enough about the people to see the second one, all right? You cool. All you Hunger Games and Twilight motherfuckers can go stand over in that corner. Okay, now, back to movies I liked. I liked The Counselor, and there ain't no motherfucking book, nigga, okay? I liked The Counselor because this shit was gangster. It was about a counselor, an attorney who decided he wanted to get into the drug game, and it shows you why you don't want to mess with that Mexican cartel. And it's a really good movie. A lot of people don't get it because they don't understand the game like that. But anybody out there that's ever thinking about getting involved in any crime, go check out The Counselor. Cameron Diaz was awesome in the movie, and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is my favorite actor. We're going to start this podcast off with some facts about Ice-T. Brad Pitt is my favorite actor. Okay? Hands down. This motherfucker, I've been on Brad Pitt ever since he was in California, Interview with a Vampire, Seven, you know, World War Z recently. Brad Pitt's the motherfucker, man. If your man don't like Brad Pitt, he's just a bitch. He's worried about, he thinks you want to suck Brad Pitt's dick. So therefore, he don't want you liking Brad Pitt. Guys that say, "Oh, Brad Pitt, this Brad Pitt is a bad man." See, I'm not intimidated by fly men. I'm not intimidated by Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying? I seen Fight Club. Brad Pitt is a bad motherfucker. So if your man don't like Brad Pitt, some pussy shit. You know how guys, when guys are really fly, men want to make them gay. Oh, yo, he's gay.
That's called boy crush. They got boy crush.
No. That just means you know your girl wants to fuck him, so therefore you trying to make him gay. No, but she wants to fuck him even if he's gay.
Yeah, but listen to this though, but maybe the guy has a boy crush on him, man.
And he's just covering it up.
Yeah, that's what happens most of the time.
Brad Pitt's a man. Brad Pitt's a man. That's all I got to say. You know, if you got a problem with Brad Pitt, that's your problem, not mine. I'm never worried about fly guys. I hang out with Brad Pitt. You know, Tyson Beckford's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, supermodel. But I never worried about any of them because I know I'm the flyest motherfucker on earth.
I see.
I'm fly.
Final Level Podcast.
So you can't be intimidated. You just got to, know who. Shut up. Maximus and Spartacus will always be in the background of these podcasts. They over here.
Yeah, they want to talk too. They got kids out there, man.
That was Movies with Ice-T. So between recording the new Body Count album and doing this podcast and starring on Law & Order SVU, I don't have a lot of spare time. Thankfully, I got Audible. Audible is the world's leading provider for audiobooks with over 150,000 titles on their site. That includes my own autobiography, Ice, a memoir of gangster life and redemption, which you need to get, and Pimp by Iceberg Slim. Audible is also where Mickey Cop, The Counselor by Cormac McCarthy. It has everything you're looking for and more. Listen to your favorite audiobooks, comedy albums on any device, your computer, tablet, Android device, or iPhone. WhisperSync lets you switch devices and saves your bookmarks, picking up where you left off each time so you don't miss a word. It even lets you switch between listening and reading, go back and forth between your Kindle and audiobook without losing your place. Another thing about Audible is if you order a book from them and decide early on that it's not for you, you can call them up and they'll let you swap it out for another book free of charge. So for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audible.com/Ice-T. That's audible.com/ICET. You'll be saving money and help to keep the podcast free. Thanks again. Go to Audible. right now we're going to go into the gaming section. Everybody out there knows that Ice-T is a gamer. I've been very fortunate in the game community. I've been in quite a few games. I started off being a hidden character in a UFC game, and then it went on to be in a Fight for New York, Def Jam Fight for New York. I've been in the Scarface game. I was the final character in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Just recently I played Griffin in Gears of War, and I'm a gamer.
Well, I'm Mick Benzo, and I don't play no games. I ain't got time to be moving
Yeah, but
no
your kids
control.
play games.
Listen, but the kids play, but I get carpal tunnel. How much fun is that trying to get carpal tunnel, moving the damn...
What the fuck is carpal tunnel?
Well, your hands get all messed up, brother. You get needles and pins in your hand. It's carpal tunnel. I don't play games. My kids like games. I don't understand how the hell you play games.
Because I fucking like playing games. See, a lot of people don't know. People, when I first told people I was a heavy gamer, they like, oh, well, games are for nerds. That's bullshit. You know, games aren't for nerds. I mean, most musicians spend most of our lives in the back of tour buses. And what we do is, you know, you got back there, you got a gaming console, and, you know, you're just going to sit there, ride for 8 and 10 hours. You end up learning how to play video games. I started off, one of my favorite games was Resident Evil back in the day. And I mean, why the fuck wouldn't Ice-T like shooting somebody in the head with a 12-gauge shotgun? That's a fun game to me. Yeah, so I got into the first-person shooters. I was playing Doom. I was playing Castle Wolfenstein, all those games. And now I play heavy Gears of War. I'm heavy Call of Duty. And I love this shit.
But I think games takes kids away from, you know, reading and doing other things, going outside. It makes them lazy.
Jail.
It makes them lazy.
Jail takes them away from that shit too.
But games make them lazy. Shouldn't the kids be playing out in the street?
I understand that argument. Kids need to go out. They need to have, you know, some experience outside of the internet. But I think it's more than games. It's just the internet as a whole. You know, now kids join gangs on the internet. How the hell do you gangbang on the internet? But that's another topic. We'll talk about that. Most recent games I've been playing, of course, is the Call of Duty Ghosts series, which is out, which I got my own clan. If you ever see SMG in front of a name, just lay down because we're going to kill you. And we play SMG is my clan. Shout out to Blunt Factory. Shout out to Enigma, Little Enigma, Big Enigma. Shout out to my man Coleman and Liverpool. These are my clan members, you know what I'm saying? Little Ice, who's on there, whacking motherfuckers. My man Exhibit, the rapper. He's on there with me. Lord Jamar, he's on there with me. So we got it going on, so we love it. But I got a problem right now with the Xbox One and the PS4 hustle. And let me not diss them. The PS4 is dope. The new PS4 is dope.
Another console.
Dope. And the new Xbox One is dope. My only beef, no backward compatibility, makes all your other games obsolete.
Well, you just made a good point. Maybe they'll take notice of that to realize that when they come up with the new console, to let those old consoles work with the new games as well.
Old games work with the new console.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that because this is the way they kind of force you to buy.
Nah. This is Final Level Podcast. They're listening and they understand.
If they was listening, I'd be doing a commercial for Sony. I have a commercial written for me to go on there and help them.
They're calling us. You see them lights lighting up? That look like it says SONY.
That's Sony's legal department.
Ice-T Final Level Podcast.
And I'm not a hater. People listen to this podcast, I'm not gonna hate on nothing. I'm just gonna bring up my opinion. And if it's wrong, I'm not just gonna diss nothing. You know, like a lot of kids that play video games, there's console wars. They call, oh, you're an Xbox, oh, that sucks. PS4, you know, I mean, eat a dick. Who cares what console you're on? What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? You know, that's when it gets nerdy to me. When, you know, there's certain points of the game where it gets nerdy. Like, okay, you're playing Xbox or you're playing Call of Duty and you're worried about your kill-death ratio. You know, oh, my kill-death ratio.
Well, you're a real gamer. I can see that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's bad enough trying to get a girl if she knows you're a gamer. If you walk up to a girl and say, yo, baby, my kill-death ratio is, you just fucked it off. You might as well put on some Crocs. If you're trying to have pussy repellent, you know, there's gonna be no loving coming towards you if you tell a bitch your fucking kill death ratio on Ghost. it's bad enough. Now, Coco don't mind me playing games.
Okay.
A lot of girls, oh, well, my husband plays too many video games. Coco's comment was, at least you know where he is.
Oh, shit, see?
I mean, he's downstairs. I'm chilling in my chair. And it helps me get out my...
your aggression. You be upset, tired, stressed out sometimes.
You want to punch people.
Yeah, so you rather punch him on a game and shoot up a bunch of people and feel like you just killed the whole damn army.
I think men have to turn loose, you know, that testosterone. We got to turn it loose sometimes. Like even when we do our rock band and you look in the pit and you watch the kids moshing, what are they really doing? Really? You're just turning loose energy, and I think people have to do it, and I do it through the video games, you know, and it's a good way to get your bloodlust out.
It's safe.
It's safe, but there's one thing I want to end it on this. This is what I hate. I'm always going to let you know what I hate, and I'm not a hater, but I hate things.
Oh, shit.
Try this.
He ain't the
I hate motherfuckers that play video games and all they do is talk shit to their own team. While you're playing with them, they're constantly saying, oh, you guys suck. Oh, you didn't get the flag. Oh, look who's on my team. I'm kicking you. Like all they do the entire time they play is bitch and moan about how their own team sucks.
So why they put them on their team?
They can't pick who's on their team, Mick. They just whine the entire game. Oh, my God. Oh.
Do you have that problem when you playing on your Xbox? Or you good enough not to?
I got to mute them. I got to mute them because even if you're good on their team, you got to hear them moaning about one guy that's on the team because that's the excuse why they're not winning. And a lot of time these guys are good, but even if you are good, just shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you bitch, moan, and cry about a fucking game. Just play the game, shut up, stop bitching about your own team members, or go make a private game and play with your fucking self. That was Gaming with Ice-T. Let's talk a moment about Squarespace. And when I used to think about making a website, first thing that came to mind was paying a guy who smelled like crap thousands of dollars to do work that usually was downright whack. You know, I didn't know the first thing about building a website myself. Player like me ain't got no time to learn code, HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. Then I heard about Squarespace. With Squarespace, I was able to build a dope website and create an online store where I can sell my merchandise and do it all within a matter of hours. I even actually used Squarespace before they came on as a sponsor. Squarespace is incredibly easy to use. It has tons of gorgeous layouts, has a support team available 24/7, converts beautifully onto mobile devices, and even has built-in tools to help with search engine optimization on Google. It's so easy to use that even noobs can create their own dream site using their drag and drop tools without getting carpal tunnel, like Mickey says, arthritis of the hand. Their plans start at only $8 a month with a free domain name when you sign up for a year. $8 a month. Beat that, web boy. Okay? So you get a free trial with no credit card required just by going to squarespace.com. When you're blown away and ready to confirm a plan, use the offer code ICE to get 10% off. You'll be getting a great deal, and you'll be supporting the Final Level podcast, helping to keep it free. Listen, homie, free is always better, okay? That's SQUARESPACE.com, offer code ICE. Thanks again to our dope sponsor. Please support them since they're supporting us.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Boom, boom. Yeah, right now we're going to do a segment which is behind the scenes of Law and Order SVU. I can go behind the scenes of all the Law and Order franchises. I've been very fortunate to be part of Law and Order for now 15 years. I started working with Dick Wolf way back on New York Undercover. This is actually my 5th Dick Wolf production. I did New York Undercover. Then I played a guest star on Swift Justice. Then I did the movie which was called Exile, which Krishna. And then I did my own show with Dick Wolf called Players with Costas Mandelaar and Frank Hughes. Then I got the call to do SVU, which I'm on now for 15 years.
Before you say you did 15 years with Law and Order Special Victim Unit, weren't you only supposed to be on there for like 3 episodes?
4 episodes. You know, they called me. They said, "Ice, would you just come on the show and you know, do a little thing, a little what they call a curve." The show just liked me. I liked the show. I was wonderful working with Chris, Mariska, all those people, and here we are, 15 years, and that's unheard of in television. Right now, I would like to get the record. The record for the longest drama is Bonanza.
Oh, man, Bonanza?
20.
Wow.
20 seasons. So right now we're 15, going on 16, and we're going strong. So people always ask me, they want to know about Law & Order. Now Law & Order has other spinoffs. We got Chicago Fire. The next coming up in January, we have Chicago PD, which I did a guest spot on there. And people want to know a lot of questions about Law & Order. The number one question I get all the time, since this is called Behind the Scenes of SVU, is Chris Maloney. Is Chris Maloney ever going to come back to the show? Why did Chris leave? So why don't you get it from the horse's mouth? Chris and I had become great friends. We worked together for 12 years. And at the end of it, Chris wanted to go off and direct movies. He wanted to be in movies. He had other plans with his life, things he wanted to do. People don't understand, but when you're on Law & Order, you really can't do movies. When you're on episodic drama television, they have me 5 days a week. You know, Mick.
Right. You can't move nowhere.
Yeah,
6 a.m. in the morning to damn near 12 at midnight at night. 5 days a week.
Yeah.
This is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Law and Order.
Yeah, you
with
work
Ice-T,
14
Final
hours a
Level.
day. 14 hours a day. And you get a couple months off for hiatus. You get a little time off for Christmas. But it's not like you can run off and do a movie.
Right.
So that's why I haven't been in any movies. But, you know, Chris wanted to make a move with his career. Now, people get caught up. They go, okay, you're a cop on television. No, really, you're an actor.
On television.
And you have to create your own path for your career. Chris wanted to move on. He had scripts he wanted to write. He had scripts that he had written and things he wanted to do. And he made that decision to leave. People say, was it about money? Could have been about a little this, little that. But at the end of the day, he said, hey, it's time for me to make this exit.
Wow, behind the scenes.
So he he was in Superman. He was in 42.
Yeah.
And he's doing his thing, and he's happy, and he's content. Now, the show itself, the show ain't going to go backwards. The show's not going to go, okay, you know, Chris left, bring Chris back. No, the show is just morphing and moving forward. So what happened is we brought Kelly Giddish in, you love Kelly from Chase.
I love her.
Yeah. Now, you used to watch Chase, right?
Chase was one of my favorite drama shows. And Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kelly comes in from there. My man Danny Pino, who was the star of Cold Case for 7 years. So we brought their fans over, and the show has been doing really good. Mariska is still strong. This year, Richard Belzer left. You know,
Richard Belzer remind me of, was Fonzie. I thought he was Fonzie when I first used to watch it. I swear to God.
Belzer's OG. Belzer was actually in, Belzer was back in the day. He was actually in Scarface.
But wasn't he a comedian, though?
Come on, he's still a comedian. He's a funny man. Belzer's crazy.
Richard Belzer.
You know, Belzer, he left. Belzer wanted to have some free time. He retired. He said, man, I need to take some time. Belzer got a pad in France. He's going to France to sip some wine and look at some scenery.
Wow.
You know, luxuriate.
And all these things came out of Law and Order?
He got money. You know what I'm saying? See, people always say, oh, well, man got money. Maybe he wants to spend some money.
Behind the scenes.
Sit back and spend it. You know, what are you going to do? Just keep working and stack it? Sometimes you got to spend it. So he's sitting back, and, you know, just recently, here's an exclusive, Dan Cragen left. Dan Florek.
You got to be kidding.
And what they did was they made Mariska become a sergeant.
Oh,
so Mariska is now
dope.
the head of the squad room. It moves
Love it.
me
Love it.
as the senior detective.
Love it.
So now the question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to bring another chief in, keep Mariska in the field, or are they going to bring in another detective? And if they bring in another detective, who? So other than that, I don't care who they bring in.
I'm Mick
still
Benzo.
the
I'm
boss.
trying to get a job up there, man. Put me down, man. Let me
Can
do
you run?
something.
Because they have me chasing 15-year-olds.
I can't. I'm not athletic like that, all that running and shit, man.
But the cool thing about me, when I came on SVU, you know.
You was in shape.
I'm still in shape. You better stay in shape because they'll have a 15-year-old take off like a bat out of fucking hell running, and they'll be like chasing me. You say,
let me ask you a question. If you wasn't good enough, what would they be looking for?
Oh, they're going to find a young nigga that can do what you can do.
What they going to ask?
They said, no, the 4 stages of an actor. Who is Ice-T? Get me Ice-T. Get me a young Ice-T. Who the fuck is Ice-T? Okay,
that's behind the scenes.
You know, you got to learn. You got to stay in shape. You doing push-ups to keep your job around here. But anyway, the show's been going strong. Yeah. 15 seasons. It was a good fit-in for me because as a casting agent, if you cast me as a street cat, then I'm not acting. If you cast a street cat as a cop, you get a cop with an interesting dynamic. And plus, the cop I'm playing, he's chasing rapists and child molesters. Nobody even likes them in prison.
No.
So it's okay. You know, people want to see me come across the table and smack them in the head and, you know, whoop their ass. So it's a good job for me, and it's cool. And, you know, other than that, Mariska.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You know, now she has 2 adopted children and her son, August, who's on the set all the time. Kelly is wonderful to work with. And Danny Pino is an incredible actor. So we in the building, man. So as we stand, what you got from the behind the scenes is the true reason Chris Maloney left. He ain't coming back, so get over it and just move on with that. Dan Cragen will be leaving on the show this season. Richard Belzer has retired, but Ice-T is still in the motherfucking building, and I'm not leaving as long as Dick Wolf's check's clear. Okay, now it's time to take some callers. This is Ice-T live. Talk to me, baby.
Hi, my name's Melinda.
Hey, Melinda, where you at?
I'm Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
And my question to you is, I'm not a real big fan of The Voice or American Idol anymore. To me, they've just kind of dwindled down. I do love The Voice. I like the judges. Wondered if you would ever consider being a judge on, you know, we need somebody hardcore like you. I think a lot of these judges are kind of wimpy, or in my eyes they are. And would you ever consider being a judge on one of the, you know, either American Idol or X Factor?
Well, you know what? Actually, the true story is I had a meeting a few years ago with Simon Cowell, and he actually was considering to have me on America's Got Talent as a judge. And his whole concept was the same as yours. Like, well, Ice, you've done all these different things, music, television, rap, rock, and it didn't come easy to you. So I don't think you're just going to hand over anybody $1 million. It's going to be difficult to impress you because you did it the hard way. I wouldn't be against it. I mean, one thing about those shows, though, it kind of like makes people believe that you become famous by winning a contest. And in reality, it kind of takes away from the hard work and grind that most artists do when you got to get out on the road, you got to play small shows, you know, you got to bust your butt to make it. So it kind of makes people think, oh, this is the way to success, be on one of these shows. And if you don't get picked up on these shows, you're never going to make it, which isn't true. Don't take anything away from the winners. It's a difficult competition. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people they got to make it by. But I understand it. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll do a show with revolving judges. So, you know, every week you be up against different judges, you know, and different celebrities that people respect and that have earned. You know, sometimes I look at the judges and I'm like, I remember, you know, I'm not a hater, so I don't like naming names, but there were some judges up there. I'm like, well, how are you judging a singer? You know, when you know, or how are you? You know, so yeah, I mean, there's always definitely gonna be a question about it. But I understand you. Thank you for calling in, and we gonna keep it moving.
Keep up all the good work.
I appreciate it. Hey, what's up? This Ice-T. Who's this?
Am I on? This is Blair.
Hey, Blair. Yeah, you're on right now. You talking to Ice, man? What's good, baby?
Oh man, this is a high point of my life for sure. I've been a huge fan since about 1990.
Right.
So listen, I remember when you came out with Body Count, and a lot of the hardcore rap fans were saying, oh, that's a sellout move. And then I remember when you were in some of the movies, like Tank Girl and stuff, people were saying, oh, that's a sellout move. And then I remember when you started playing a cop on TV, they were saying that's a sellout move. And I'm just wondering what you say to all these people who keep calling you sellouts, even though you take it to the next level every time.
Well, you know what it is when you do something that people aren't familiar with, they like to give you that term. But now if you notice, everybody now is trying to be in movies. Everybody now is trying to do something different. You know, Ice Cube, Tupac, everybody, Dr. Dre has played cops in movies. You're just advanced, and they don't really understand the move yet. So they think because you're not doing something that they're familiar with, it's got to be a sellout. No, not really that. It's just that I've always been somebody who's always looked to live my life my way. And I'm not going to live my life the way they want me to. So if I want to make a rock band, I'm going to make a rock band. And hopefully what I did was I inspired a lot of the non-haters to say, hey, Ice does whatever he wants to do. And that's how I want to live. You feel me?
Hey, I feel you, man. Can I ask another question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I feel like after Home Invasion, you kind of stopped putting so much political content into your rap. And I'm just wondering if that was kind of a conscious move after the whole cop killer controversy, or was that just where you were going artistically?
I mean, you know, I go in and out of my political phases. You know, like just like right now with the death of Nelson Mandela, that makes me become very political and conscious. It's just phases we go through. You know, it's kind of like you can hang out with me one day and we'll talk only about sports. Next day we'll talk only about women. Next day we'll talk only about politics. You feel me? So it's just zones in life, and I like politics. To me, I mean, I like to talk about things that are really pertinent to me that I'm dealing with, and that's why I'm doing a new Body Count album right now. So this has a lot of, I guess you could call it politics. I guess call it like philosophy and, you know, the way I see things, you know. So, you know, and with any artist, if you follow somebody for a long time, you're going to have favorite albums, you're going to have not so favorite albums, but the best thing is you've stuck with me. So, you know, hopefully I'll fall back into that zone you miss, you know?
Oh, hell yes, man. I pick up everything you do, so keep doing it. Thanks for the interview.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? This is Ice-T. How are you?
Great.
Who is this?
This is Melissa.
Calling from?
Duluth, Minnesota. It's minus 29 here today.
Did I need to know that? Minus 29? Really?
Yeah.
Ah!
So, you know, my professional work is as a domestic violence advocate. So, of course, I follow Mirshka's work. Of all the shows that you've done, you know, that have to do with child abuse, violence against women, did any of them ever leave you and think, oh, that felt too real, or kind of like leave you with a bad feeling in your stomach thinking it probably actually happened to someone?
Oh, absolutely. When I first came on this show, I was unaware of a lot of the things that were going on out there. And, you know, a real SVU detective can only be on the job 2 years. A maximum, I think, 3, because of the level and how heavy the job is, you know, what they see. So I've been on there 15 years, and I'm looking at these episodes, and this is all ripped from the headlines. So, yeah, it definitely affects you. You know, I mean, I remember one time I was in Miami, and I was at a swimming pool, and someone had their little child nude, you know, like a little baby, like a 2-year-old. And normally that wouldn't have bothered me, but then my brain, after being on SVU, I was like, how many weirdos could be at this pool, you know? And that's something that never would have came into my mind.
I was going to say, I've been doing domestic violence advocacy for 15 years. So my husband always jokes with me that, like, we'll go out for dinner and I'll say something to him like, I'll say, oh, go look at that couple over there. And he'll say, what? And he'll say something like, oh, yeah, I really like that guy's shirt. I was like, no, he's a total wife beater. Don't you see it?
Oh, wow. How can you see that? How can you see that? You can't. Wow. Hey, well, you know, hey.
He's talking to her and all those sorts of things. Anyway, yeah. So I was just wondering, like, as an actor, if it starts to color, though, your thinking. I mean, once you spend so much of your life's work on it.
Nah, I haven't gone. I can't pick out a wife beater yet, But it does affect us a little bit. But we got to keep it moving. So thank you very much for your call.
Thank you.
All right, take care. So that was it. That was the first Final Level podcast, and this is just number one. It's gonna get worse.
This is our first, man. This is the first.
It's like my man Fredro from Onyx said. Wait, it gets worse.
Oh, it does. You know? It does. Y'all just have to tune in. We're gonna be doing this real often. We're
gonna do it at least twice a month.
At least twice a month would be good.
I think that we're gonna show you that we can have fun. This just kind of give you the whole mental of Ice-T's brain and stuff. And one thing, Mick, people always ask us, they say, well, you guys, you're in celebrity world. What do y'all do? What's your charity? What are y'all about? Why don't you drop the knowledge on our new project we're working on?
Yeah, well, it's not all about the music. It's about taking that music and that television and turning that into something else. It doesn't have to be a summer camp. Me and Ice-T have a company that's now called Mel Awareness Foundation. You can go to melawarenessfoundation.org. We're talking to all men of all creed, color, and race. We don't discriminate. Mel Awareness is about you guys that are so macho that won't go have your prostate checked, won't go have your testicles. When you're taking a shower, act like a woman, man. Check your testicles, man.
Well, they don't got testicles.
Yes, they do. They got balls. That's their nuts and bolts. That's their nuts and bolts. We want you to check your nuts and bolts. We actually want you to be in the shower and check your breasts, because men, believe it or not, you can get breast cancer. But if you check out Mel Awareness Foundation, we're trying to tell you guys to go for your annual physicals. That's real important. Check out your colon, your rectal, pancreatic. We're not going to give you a whole list of things. We want you to go do a little research because it concerns you. It doesn't really concern us.
Now, Mickey,
I'll go to the doctor.
Mickey, break it down where this charity and where this whole organization came from. I mean, I'll tell the truth. A lot of our friends, when we was young, you in the streets, things are happening to you, but when you hit your 30s and your 40s, we're dealing with friends dying just from strict mortality.
Let's look at our young guy that we know that had a triple bypass as young as he was.
47? How old?
47 years old, man. And he thought he was very healthy. We so macho, we won't go to the dentist. And I'm going to tell you a secret. This is just a little secret. If your tooth is bothering you and you keep swallowing bacteria, meaning you don't go get it checked, you can catch a stroke. Now, the best way to clean your teeth is better than using toothpaste. Just a little instance. Costs you $1. Go get some hydrogen peroxide, put a little few caps in the water, gargle your mouth with that. It'll clear it up, but still, go to the dentist.
You like Dr. Oz up in this bitch.
Yeah, we can do all that. Because
this nigga knows things.
We know because we do our research. We want them to know, so if they do some back research and say that we said this and that they can check it, and it's actually true.
We're going to be plugging, the melawarenessfoundation.org on here. This is one of our things that we're doing, among a lot of other things.
Remember this, though. We're going to have some goddamn fun.
Yeah. This is a Final Level podcast signing out, you know what I'm saying? And if I just want to say one last thing. If you sat through a whole hour of this and then you got nothing to say but negative shit, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker on earth. You could have clicked this shit off a minute in.
I'm Mick Benzo and that's Ice-T, and guess what? We'll see you in 2 weeks. Final Level podcast. Spread the word. We're here.
Church.
That's how I'm living. 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 That's how I'm living.